Hello everyone, and welcome back to Press A for ESL. I'm Jasmine, and I'm bringing you Level Up Your Grammar. So today's episode for episode 9 is conjunction but. So we're going to take a look at a clip from Delicious in Dungeon Anime and see if you can hear this conjunction in context. Are you ready? Let's go.
It's Root! Are you okay?
Yeah, nothing's broken.
How was it?
Huh?
Like I told you before, this species leaves its seeds under your skin. It's called a shadow tail. Unlike the Barasalia type that squeezes you till your bones break, this type needs to keep whatever it traps with its vines alive. It squeezes its prey just enough so it can't escape, but it's still relatively comfortable in its clutches, which could feel kinda cozy. Did it? I upset her again.
So, did you catch the sentence with the conjunction but? Well, here it is. Laya said it squeezes its prey just enough so it can't escape, but it's still relatively comfortable in its clutches. So today we're going to be focusing on this conjunction but, how to use it in sentence, and what meaning it gives to the sentence. I hope you're ready. Let's break it down. Alright, so the conjunction but is a coordinating conjunction. So remember, there are different types of conjunctions, but we're just focusing on the coordinating. So this coordinating conjunction but joins two equal parts or two independent clauses or sometimes phrases. Its main job here is to show contrast. So the second part of the sentence is different from or surprising compared to the first part. So it could either be different than the independent clause or different than the phrase. Now, key point here is that but emphasizes opposition in meaning or tone. Because remember, there's a lot of coordinating conjunctions, but we're just focusing on but. So we're going to take a look at how to craft a sentence using but and how it changes the meaning. So let's break it down in our crafting section. Now, to craft a sentence using but, you have to see how it looks. So usually it's idea 1, but, and then the contrasting idea 2 to show that difference. Now, key point for this is that if it is combining two independent clauses together, so a main sentence and another main sentence together, you have to have a comma. So for example, the dragon's lair was terrifying, but, so comma, but, it smelled like fresh cookies. So even though this was a terrifying place, because I don't want to go into a dragon's lair, it smelled like fresh cookies, so maybe the dragon's a baker, right? So it's a completely contrasting idea. Now you can also combine phrases, which is here. He fights bravely, but loses often. So it's two verbs that are being combined, but it's still showing contrast because one action is positive while the other is negative. But since it's combining phrases or verbs in this case, it doesn't need a comma. So if you don't put that comma in when it's needed, it becomes a boop sentence. Now we're going to take a look at Lias's example from the anime to help break this idea down further. So just to refresh your brain what Lias said, he says it squeezes its prey just enough so it can't escape, but it's still relatively comfortable in its clutches. So we're going to take a look at that first idea, which is clause 1. So this sounds dangerous, threatening, or even deadly, because someone is squeezing you enough so you can't escape. You're not in a good place. So this allows the listener to expect that the prey for this monster to be in extreme pain. Now, on the other hand, if we look at the second idea, or clause 2 after the but, it's kind of unexpected because we're not in as much pain as we imagined we would be. So that's that contrast. So there's a surprising gentleness despite the danger. So what but does in this sentence, it signals that the second clause, or the second idea, is a twist, that the monster is both scary and oddly gentle. Now, if we didn't add a but to this sentence, the connection would be unclear and the listener might assume both ideas go in the same emotional direction. So for example, if we use and here instead of but, it would be it squeezes its prey just enough so it can't escape, and it's relatively comfortable in its clutches. So we're not putting that surprising twist or that surprising contrast that we want the listener to expect. Because remember, idea 1 is pain, idea 2 is comfortable. So those are two contrasting ideas, and that's how this sentence works. Okay, so how do you feel about the conjunction but? Do you feel a bit better? Do you feel more confident? Well, I hope you do, because we're going to have a bonus challenge, and today's bonus challenge is a bit different than normal. I wanted to change it up a bit. So our bonus challenge is your task or your mission or your quest is to write 3 sentences with but showing a clear contrast. And if you want to earn some bonus points, some bonus experience, try to use a fantasy or video game theme. So use your favorite content. Do you like Final Fantasy? Do you also like Delicious in Dungeon? Try using 3 sentences with but. It can be combining 2 independent clauses or even phrases, and put them in the comments below. So anyone who puts comments in the section, I will provide feedback on, give you some advice or tips or tricks. And I'm just excited to see the ideas everyone comes up with. Okay, so we are going to do a brief review just to refresh your mind about the coordinating conjunction but before we say goodbye. So let's take a look. So just to refresh your brain, but is a coordinating conjunction. It joins 2 equal parts, so 2 independent clauses or phrases. But the key point here is but emphasizes opposition in meaning or tone. So remember, you're trying to show that contrast. Now, key point for punctuation is if combining 2 independent clauses together, you have to use a comma, or it's going to be a boop 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 boop. But if it's 2 phrases, 2 verbs, 2 nouns, for example, then you don't need a comma. Whew, okay, so that was a lot to take in all at once, but I know you're brave adventurers and you can grasp it very quickly. But we're at the end of time, everyone, so we do have to say goodbye. So thank you so much for embarking on the grammar adventure with me to learn about coordinating conjunction but. Your hard work is paid off and you just earned 10 experience points. So we're going to be doing Delicious in Dungeon for a few more episodes before we do Genshin Impact. So I hope you take a look. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.